What if I told you that behind the polite messages in your DMs, the flirty texts from a dating app, or the urgent voice pleading for help over the phone might be a prisoner? Not a prisoner in a jail cell, but a victim of human trafficking, locked inside a scam compound in Southeast Asia. Their job? To scam you. Their punishment for failure? Beatings, torture, death. Welcome to Crime Lab Chronicles, where we uncover the hidden crimes shaping our world. Today's case is about the dark underworld of slave scammers, a horrifying blend of cybercrime, modern slavery, and international trafficking. In 2023, a young man from Kenya named Peter, looking for work abroad, responded to a promising job posting on Facebook. It advertised an IT support role in Cambodia with excellent pay. A few days later, Peter found himself crossing borders, hopeful and ambitious. But the dream dissolved the moment he arrived. His passport was seized. He was shoved into a locked room, surrounded by rows of computers. Then came the rules. You must scam people. You must meet daily quotas. You cannot leave. He wasn't an employee. He was a slave. The machine, what Peter became part of, is not a fluke, not an isolated incident. It's part of a sprawling, multi-billion-dollar enterprise, a scam industrial complex, mostly centered in Myanmar, Cambodia, Laos, and parts of Thailand. These compounds are often run by Chinese, Taiwanese, or Vietnamese mafia-style criminal syndicates. The business model? Simple. 1. Lure desperate job seekers from Asia, Africa, and even Europe using online ads. 2. Traffic them into lawless special economic zones, border towns or casino cities where police turn a blind eye. 3. Enslave them in buildings where they run online scams, especially romance scams, investment fraud, the infamous pig butchering scams, crypto phishing, sextortion rings. Victims are often forced to use scripts written in perfect English, Mandarin, or Thai, depending on the target market. The front may be digital, but the chains are very real. Pig butchering, the fatally sweet scam. One of the most profitable and psychologically manipulative scams is known as pig butchering. Here's how it works. 1. A scammer builds trust with a victim, often posing as a beautiful woman or charming businessman on dating apps or social media. 2. Weeks or months are spent fattening the victim with emotional bonding. 3. Eventually, the victim is introduced to a lucrative crypto investment platform. 4. The initial returns seem promising until they suddenly disappear. Victims have lost millions and, in several cases, committed suicide from the shame and ruin. What they never suspect? The kind voice behind the messages might be a trafficked man in a guarded room, beaten if he doesn't produce results. The slave's life. Inside these compounds, daily life is grim. Testimonies from survivors paint a brutal picture: 12 to 15-hour shifts of constant scamming, punishments for failing to meet quotas, electric shocks, forced starvation, cigarette burns, isolation. Escape attempts met with beatings, or worse, suicides are common. Sexual violence is rampant, especially against female captives. One survivor from Malaysia reported, "They beat me with metal rods because I only made $1,000 that week. I begged to stop. I said I wasn't a criminal. They laughed and said, 'You are now.'" Many of these scam centers are disguised as office parks, casinos, or tech buildings, with armed guards posted outside. A shameful demand. You might wonder, why do these scam centers exist in the first place? The answer lies in greed, but also demand. Crypto scams, romance fraud, and phishing have become so profitable that they've outpaced drug trafficking in certain regions. Law enforcement is often bribed or intimidated into silence. And there's no shortage of vulnerable people willing to gamble on a chance at economic survival. A recruiter's message to an Ethiopian job seeker read, $700 a month, no experience needed, free accommodation, bonus for good performance. But when the man arrived in Sihanoukville, Cambodia, he found iron bars on the windows, guards with guns, and a boss who said, "You are now the property of this building." The escapes. There are heroes in this story, but not enough. Some NGOs and journalists have managed to rescue dozens, even hundreds of victims. The global anti-scam organization, GASO, founded by a victim himself, works tirelessly to expose these operations and help captives escape. In one daring escape, a group of trafficked workers from Nepal scaled a compound wall in the dead of night, dodging electric fences and guards. They made it to a nearby UN office, but were nearly deported back home without any protection. International cooperation remains weak, with most governments slow to acknowledge the scale of the crisis. Some even deny that it's happening within their borders. Digital blood money. The money trail from these scams is chilling. One scam compound in Myanmar reportedly made $100 million in 6 months from fake crypto investments. A trafficked Vietnamese worker in Laos had a weekly quota of $15,000 in stolen funds. A British retiree lost $240,000 to a woman he thought was in love with him. She was actually a young man locked in a scam factory. Every dollar stolen enriches the masterminds behind these operations and tightens the grip on their human captives. Behind every scam, there's a trail of tears. Modern Slavery 2.0. This isn't a story from 1825. It's from 2025. The tools may be digital, the message is typed, but the reality is analog brutality, chains, torture, coerced labor, rape, death. We are witnessing a modern-day slavery system operating in plain sight, one that merges the worst of cybercrime with the oldest human evil, exploitation. And the terrifying part? It's growing. More scam centers are opening. More job seekers are falling prey. More victims, both inside the compounds and behind the screens, are suffering. What can be done? Stopping this network requires coordinated action. Governments must recognize these scam centers as human trafficking hubs and act accordingly. Big tech platforms like Facebook, TikTok, and Telegram must crack down on fraudulent job ads and love scams. Crypto exchanges need stricter KYC, know your customer laws, to prevent laundering of stolen money. And you, the viewer, can stay informed, protect your community, and never trust too good to be true jobs or investments. Because every click matters. Every message sent could mean another soul trapped or freed. Conclusion: slaves of the digital age. In the dark corners of the internet, in the back alleys of Southeast Asia, a new kind of slavery is thriving. Not in chains, but in chat boxes. Not in cotton fields, but behind keyboards. These victims are the hidden hands behind the text scams you ignore. Their pain funds someone's luxury. Their tears build someone's fortune. And their stories deserve to be told. You've been watching Crime Lab Chronicles, where we expose the truth, no matter how dark. If you found today's episode eye-opening, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And if you want to help victims of human trafficking, check the description for links to verified organizations. Until next time, stay safe, stay skeptical, and keep asking questions.